All right, what's up guys? Welcome to my video for this week, Monk Mode. If you don't know me, my name is Diego. I am here showing you guys, documenting my life, changing my life, the transformation of my life while doing Monk Mode. And I believe this is week 10. Sheesh. Wow. It has been quite a journey so far. And I decided to change it up this week a little bit, maybe kind of, different style. I've noticed that the creativity of this has been a little bit difficult because, well, it's a bit repetitive, right? I'm doing the same things every day, but I definitely want to bring you guys into it and offer you new perspectives and just some gold nuggets here and there. And so I decided to kind of make this one about the routine itself and how to go about it. If you're interested in starting Monk Mode, I guess how I've been doing it, my routine, and any advice that I have going forward, that way you have, the least amount of resistance possible, because that's ultimately, a big deal when you start a routine that's pretty intense. You have a lot of resistance, and so you want to minimize that by going about it a certain way. And so, without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, now it always starts the day before. Okay, you want to make sure you have decided what you want to do, the outcome you want from Monk Mode, and you want to organize yourself as perfectly as you possibly can. All right, like try not to miss anything, try not to get lazy on certain systems or parts of your day, because guys, any room or any space that you leave there in your schedule, the devil will fill it. All right, that is so important, and I have been proven right every single time that I have any kind of space in my schedule. So that's important. The night before, organize yourself. Make sure you get in there and just journal everything. I actually recommend using Notion. It is probably my favorite go-to journaling thing for. It's on my computer, and it keeps everything organized. And I tried doing it on paper before I actually had a journal, but it was so messy and my handwriting got so bad, and so it became a little bit difficult to keep track of and organize. So for that reason, I recommend on the laptop. The night before, make sure you go to bed early. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you go to sleep late, it is a domino effect. You cannot go to sleep any later than 9:30. I would love to say 10:30 because I know we got stuff to do, but really, realistically, if you want to do Monk Mode, you really got to get up early and just maximize your day. And so to do that, you got to go to bed at 9:30 at the latest. I prefer to be in bed by 9 o'clock. Not always successful, but that's the idea. What do you do so you guarantee your success first thing in the morning, aside from prepping everything? You set an alarm and you leave it outside of your bedroom. You do not want to leave it next to your bed. That is like by far number one rule, because you will very easily press that button and forget about it. I've done that many times. I'm sure you have, and that's probably maybe why you're watching this video, because you can't find that discipline to do what you said you were going to do. And so for that very reason, you're going to take your alarm, you're going to leave it outside the room, and you're just gonna crank it up, all right? Crank it up, and that way at 5 a.m., once it goes off, you're going to get your booty out of bed and you're gonna turn off that alarm. You're going to immediately start working. And what does this look like, all right? You have your laptop there, you have Notion on your laptop, you're gonna start immediately journaling, okay? If you prefer to do it on paper, go for it, okay? But for different reasons, I use my laptop. And so you open up, you start journaling. Once you get into that, you know exactly what you're going to do after. For me, it's reading the Bible. I love reading the Bible first thing in the morning. After, of course, I've thanked God. That's the first thing I do before journaling. Turn off my alarm, I thank God. Then I get into journaling, then I read the Bible, just to make sure I'm well oriented for my day and I have the highest probability of success, which is what we want, all right? After that, the discipline of doing 100 push-ups, I do it every single day. That is so important. You got to do something you really don't want to do. and it's got to be physical. It's got to be something that gets you, really wakes you up, because I'm thankful every single time I do my push-ups, because I'm like, dang, that actually, like, I feel good now. Like, I don't feel tired anymore, because it's very easy to do a couple things and still feel like, you know, all sluggish and not knowing what to do and just kind of thinking a little bit. And, you know, your morning kind of speeds up a little bit, gets up to speed when you do something physical. So I recommend it. Do some push-ups. I do 100, but who's counting? Got to do a little bit of work. We do wake up early, so it leaves a chunk of time to just start getting productive. And, you know, I have about an hour window where I either edit or do some more trading, typically back testing. But because I am making these videos and it's not my main priority in my life right now, it's mostly trading, then I will edit in the morning and just make sure I like editing. It's kind of like my slowly, I don't got to think too much. It's a little bit more creative for me, and I do feel more creative in the morning. So for that very reason, we edit, all right? And as far as the morning routine goes, oh, forgot about the coffee. That's important, yeah. Yeah, I throw that in there, so make sure you get your coffee in.
How I cried, written down the words to say it is time. I've been waiting 5 days to explain how you make me feel inside. Baby, got it all figured out, wanna do this right. There's no doubt in my mind, baby, you're the one. And tonight, I am going all the way. The way you touch my hair, it all goes away. The things I plan, the things I would say, now I keep rambling on. I sound so cliche. What I am trying to do is say I love you. And all the things that you do. Sounds like a fool, 'cause when you touch my hair, the words goes away. What I am trying to do is say I love you. You don't know how I shiver inside. Doesn't show, but my nerves are inside out. It's because you're not worth less than perfection. Ooh, thought it was in my pants, now I'm all confused. Turning gold into sand, don't know what you do to me. All I know is you can take my breath away. Yeah, it's when you touch my hair, it all goes away. The things I plan, the things I would say, now I keep rambling on. I sound so cliche. What I am trying to do is say I love you. And all the things that you do. Sounds like a fool.
All right, so once we've squared away everything in the morning, we've got to make sure we get our workout in, all right? Some people like to do it first thing in the morning, but waking up a little bit and then going to the gym kind of helps me have a more productive workout. My workout, or my gym, is actually pretty close by, so I get to, you know, have a little bit of a walk beforehand, and, you know, I get to the gym early, 7 o'clock, start my workout, and I'm there for about an hour and a half. Now, currently my split is a lower body, upper body, and then I have a rest day / cardio day. It's a bit more of a chill, light jog sort of thing. And then I start push, pull, legs. So it's currently about a 6-day split if we're including the light cardio. So it's a pretty good workout routine. I'm happy with it, except I probably will be doing more calisthenics in the near future, probably starting this coming week. And that's just to kind of crunch time a little bit more. Sometimes I have found myself to spend a little too much time at the gym. I'm pretty much a popular face at the gym now. I'm just very talkative Nancy. And so it's one of those things where I have to tell myself to, okay, Diego, you got to cut your conversations short, and you got to just do what you got to do, okay? Don't over communicate sometimes. So anyway, like this very moment. And once I get home, this is like, okay, like I'm getting ready for work now, focusing in on trading. And I like to fast up until 11:30. And the reason for that is because I feel like I genuinely can focus better when I don't eat right after my workout, because your body does transition from burning fat to like storing fat when you eat as soon as you work out, right? So some people eat right after. I personally like to wait, and it just, you're maximizing how many calories you're burning, and you're also more focused on work. So about an hour or two after I hit the gym. More like 2 hours, but this feels nice. Just doing the trader life. Got the laptop, got the coffee, got the mattress. Oh man, it feels good. To be honest, I was not planning on, having this set up for the day, but I had kind of an interesting morning, and it really kind of got me exhausted. I had to go take an exam at a doctor's office, and then after that I saw a homeless man and I started giving him stuff. And it was a very interesting interaction because I brought him like a muffin, some coffee, a sandwich, and then I can't even really articulate what he said, but then he started asking me for other stuff, and I could tell like he really needed clothes. I mean, from the beginning I was like, oh man, this man really needs clothes. He smells like piss. Ugh. Anyway, he asked me for what I thought he was going to ask me for, and that's clothes. And so I looked at him, I'm like, you need clothes, huh? In my head, I'm like, okay, I can't just let this man marinate in his own, So I was like, what would Jesus do? And so I went to the store, I bought him some clothes, and thankfully there was like a Chinese store that was like right next door, so everything was super cheap. And then I gave him the clothes, and after the clothes, he asked me again for other stuff, but he asked me this time for a bathroom and a place to shower with shampoo. I was like, bro, you're asking for a lot, man. You were asking for so much, dude. Plus, I don't even remember him saying thank you. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, that's the most I can give you right now. Like, I don't know any place where you can just pop in and use their shower. And so I was like, my bad, man, that's all I can give you. And, he was like, okay, that's, thank you, God bless. And as I was walking to the train station, I saw a hostel, like a hotel, like a mini hotel. And I was like, let me check how much their prices are. And so I checked, and it wasn't absurd. It also wasn't fancy, but it wasn't absurd. Lord help me. And so I got him a room in some random hostel. And I told the guy, because the guy that I was buying the room from, he was like, who is this guy? Because I told him it was going to be for a friend, someone like that I knew. He was like, what's his information? What's his name? And I'm like, dude, I don't know anything apart from his name. I paid him. I even gave him a little bit of a tip because I knew he was going to complain a little bit. And so anyway, I paid him. I went to go get, the guy. And when I brought him over, I could just, the look on his face, man, the front desk guy, he was like, he's a little too dirty, man. I can't. And I was like, bro, please, dude, I can't do this all on my own. I've already helped him a lot. He needs a place to shower. Just give him this one night, man. God will bless you, dude. Like, help me out here. I'll give you some more money if you need some more money. And he was like, no, I mean, but is he going to leave tomorrow when I tell him to? And I was like, yes. And I look at him and I'm like, you're going to leave tomorrow, right? And he goes, yes. And so I'm like, okay, look, he's a cool guy. Just do what he says, all right? Or, do what the front desk guy tells you. And so, yeah, I kind of left him there, and I'm like, dude, like, God bless you. And I told the guy, I'm like, thank you for this, because, around here, you don't really see people accepting homeless people. And so, I'm thankful to that guy, and I pray that the Lord gives him patience and strength to deal with that. I was like, where am I going with this story? Yeah, I'm in bed now because I did a lot this morning, so I'm just kind of chilling, doing some trading. I was going to take a trade this morning, and to be honest, I kind of could have, but so the problem with this trade, the trade that I was going to take, essentially right here, you can see all of this bearish order flow, like it starts coming down. Essentially yesterday I traded up to this point right here, literally where you see that point right there, a little tick, that's literally where my take profit was. And so I barely got the TP. But I already expected it to reverse here, and then this morning that's exactly what it was doing. But I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to keep going because there's a bunch of bullish order flow. Didn't really trust it too much. So anyway, no trade today. We've done our trading session. We've really focused in the morning. Now it's important that we, around midday, have a quick little Bible/meditation session, okay? Sometimes I do just the meditation. Sometimes I'll do the Bible study and then the meditation. It's not 100% both at the same time, but for the most part, I'll do the meditation 100% guaranteed. And that, my friends, is so freaking important. I highly recommend that you do a meditation session, and I recommend it for at least 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay, done. No, 30 minutes of a good meditation. And I don't criticize how I'm breathing or how I'm sitting. I get comfortable enough for me to, like, obviously not fall asleep. That's not the idea. But so you can just sit there and be. That's super important. Just allowing there to be no stimulus. It's very important that you close the blinds, cover your ears, or anything that just prevents all of the stimulus, because when you allow your brain to sit there for more than 10 minutes, your mind kind of goes into this place where it runs itself, okay? And it sounds interesting when I say this out loud, but for the first 5 to 10 minutes, you're usually thinking about things intentionally, or at least trying not to think about that, maybe thinking about that too much. And then eventually you get to a point where you stop trying to control it and your brain runs on its own. And that's where I've found a lot of very interesting moments in my life as far as things that I've come up with, experiences that I've had. And as much as like I can try to describe it for you, it's ultimately just relaxing. Like that's the biggest takeaway from really allowing yourself to pass that discomfort phase. It's just your body will enjoy it. You will enjoy it, and you'll actually want to do it for longer periods of time. I know I've had times where I've done it, for an hour total, and back in the day I never thought I could do that. So at this point, we're kind of halfway in the day, and we've already had a really productive day, probably the most productive day you've ever had, and you're already ahead of most people. And now is when I get into my second meal of the day, which is my biggest meal of the day. Try to get a lot of protein in there, a bunch of vegetables, just really give myself a good treat for being good in the morning, right? Having good productivity. And so, I spent some time making dinner, and I have kind of allowed myself to just chill a little bit more, with allowing my mind to be entertained with maybe like a YouTube video or something, or maybe I'll listen to a podcast, or pretty much anything that's kind of like I'm curious about. I have been learning a lot about filmmaking and vlogging and YouTube stuff, and color grading. So this is the time where I spend a bit more energy on just the things that I like and the interests I have. So we're finishing up a little bit of this day. At this point, it's a bit more like wind down, and so I like to go for a walk. I like to just enjoy the the view that I have, the people that are around me, just kind of walk around and get lost a little bit. Although this week has been a pretty hectic week with the weather, so I didn't get to do that. Actually, the day I wanted to go out and film like a nice walking montage, I wasn't able to because it was just like pounding rain. Yo, it has been brutal all day. I've gotten out here like 20 times to adjust that stupid tarp because it keeps blowing off, and I don't know what to do with it. I can't put it inside. It's a massive grill. And so yeah, that wasn't, I mean, it was good, for the soil, but for my social life, I mean, I still don't really have one, so it doesn't really make a difference. Going for a daily walk is absolutely super duper important. Like, it's very easy to just kind of confine yourself when you're doing monk mode, but I recommend that everyone goes for a walk every single day, right? At least for 20 minutes, 30 minutes more ideal, but that's super important. Like, it doesn't matter what your routine you're doing, you need some sunshine, you need to just walk Like, that's so important. I get home, make a fruit salad. Usually it's just like the thing I eat before bed, and do some more back testing and plan and prep for the next day. And I usually start planning and prepping around 8 o'clock, 8:30, and that way I'm in bed by 9. That's kind of been my day, how it goes, and the systems are incredibly important, guys. Whenever you're doing any kind of routine, if it's monk mode in this case, you really need to systemize everything. And by that, I mean, like, have your clothes ready the night before, know what you're gonna eat, try to meal prep everything, try to really organize your life on a Notion, as I was saying before. And it's just going to ultimately allow you to know the ins and outs of your life. And that's what monk mode is about. You don't have to know what you're going to do in the future in like a year from now or whatever, however long. But you need to know what you're doing every single day. And the good thing about monk mode is you're not planning fun stuff. You're not planning, extravagant vacations or family parties or none of that. You're literally planning one day and you're repeating it for 3 months or however long you plan to do it. If it's a week, it's a week. If it's, a year, it's a year. I definitely plan on doing this for longer than 3 months. I just won't be documenting it the same way that I'm doing it currently, where it's like a weekly video. It might be a little bit more one-off, more specific. But ultimately, if you want to change your life and you want transformation, the only way to genuinely do that, aside from everything I've told you, is to seek God. God is the only person, Jesus Christ is the only person that can ultimately change you from the inside of your heart. Because that's where everything starts. The reasons why you're procrastinating, the reasons why you're doing things that have no relevance to your goals, or you're spending time with people that don't really help you grow. It's called sin. We all sin. And because you like to live in sin, you ultimately live a life that denies certain truths. And, because a lot of people, I myself used to be included in this before I came to God, it separates you from the reality of like what the best thing for you is. And it's not going out to party. It's not entertaining stupid casual relationships. It's having the right heart posture, and that's where everything starts. And so if you allow Jesus Christ to change your heart, change your mind, and change your soul, your life will get better. And to be honest, I have a long way to go, but without God, I would still be in the dumps like I was 3 months ago. And so I'm thankful. I thank God every single day. And I pray that Jesus Christ really orients you in this life to actually walk in your true purpose. And that purpose has to be aligned with God in order to really fulfill you. And that's how I feel every single day now, because I'm walking in that purpose. And so I thank you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Give it a nice big thumbs up. And yeah, guys, I love you, like I already said.
It is incredibly windy right now. Apparently there's a huge winter storm coming. This is why there's nobody at the gym, or at the beach. The gym was closed, or else I'd be there nice and cozy.